everybody. We're back fresh off a limited edition, but now we're doing Unscripted. I'm Gary D. This is my man Cable. And last and certainly not least, as always, Indiana County's favorite son, Mr. Triple B himself, Bad Bubba Brewer.
I thought Jimmy Stewart was, but I'm taking the lead.
You're way above Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, I know. It's a wonderful life, Mav. It's a wonderful life.
It sure is, brother. It sure is. But yeah, gentlemen, we're doing a double-decker tonight, double-header. But
block party, as people Bubba's age used to call them.
Yeah, okay. I remember them days, man. they were good.
But okay, block party. That's what we're doing. It's now
bringing it back.
Block party.
Yes,
absolutely. But first and foremost, I just got to do this. Hold on, give me 1 second here. One sec. Screw it. We're not making any money here. Right?
Right.
The best thing, the best entrance.
Yes.
It's look at this. Look at this stuff. Look, John Cena is stiff as hell in this. But look at this. It's amazing.
I mean, at face level, it seems silly, but the work that went into this, the choreography and everything.
I think the three of us need to
But this dance thing, guys, tells the story of the show.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. This is it's amazing.
Because the last final one was different than any other one.
And that's why we're going to enjoy it now, because now I'm a little bit depressed that I don't get to wake up and watch this.
Yeah. Yeah, this
was fun.
This will be way up there when we do our year-end stuff.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. This to me has made the DC universe something spectacular in my eyes.
Well, it's James Gunn, guys.
I know.
Yes.
When he leaves
He's a master.
This is the best part. This is the best part. Oh man, love it. Sorry, I had to.
No,
I had to.
This that band's like a heavy metal rock band.
Dude,
too.
they're great.
Yeah, they're from Sweden or something, or Switzerland, or Finland, or one of those. Yeah,
there's somewhere. I don't know.
They are called.
I was just told today about it too, and I can't remember the name.
Give me 1 second. I was listening to it this morning.
Yeah, they're a foreign band.
Yeah,
they're called Wigwam.
Yes,
and they're recent. They're recent. They sound like they would be from the '80s because that's how they're styled. They sound like '80s hair, but.
That's a good. Yeah, it's good.
Dude, the soundtrack great.
Best intro to any show in a long time. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like Cheers. I don't know with the song. I mean, Cheers is iconic, but this is now.
Cheers is iconic. I mean, that's a whole nother top five. There, we could go the American version of The Office.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good intros.
This
out
TV
there.
show was something. I mean, but. When you guys say James Gunn, James Gunn now has done. Now he's done with DC. Now he's moved on to doing the Marvel, the Guardians.
James Gunn possibly be the savior for DC?
I mean, he could be if they were gonna give him that role.
I don't know if they will.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how it would work when he doesn't have a quirky character or a cast of characters. Like if he was to take on just a Batman or a Superman.
That's a good point.
Because all of his
solo, everybody's
and all of his stuff, he picks the goofy, silly characters that nobody wants to give a second thought to.
He turns it into money,
gold. Absolutely,
Do you think he could do a Teen Titans movie?
It's tough to say. I mean, Teen Titans might fit, especially with Beast Boy and stuff. Like that would be.
I mean, I know the show, but then they need to, jack it up from the to the big screen. I don't know. I don't know many DC teams besides the Suicide Squad. Maybe the Outsiders. I don't know. I don't know a lot of DC lore, so that'll stump me there.
Well, he does for me at least now, he's knocked out of the park with Guardians, Peacemaker, Suicide Squad movie. He's in this group of
Hey, Shane,
directors that
I agree with you.
I just think everything they work on, I'm excited to see what it is.
Well, they have the HBO Max to do all this stuff. They have the ways and the content to do these TV shows, the hardcore stuff that we've seen in Peacemaker, from the racism to the ultra violent stuff that is just over the top and crazy. And John Cena is this is the best thing he did. Like, me and Tammy watched it tonight, and she said just the way he acts in the Peacemaker, his character acting is better than The Rock. And I looked at her.
Oh,
that's what she said.
I don't think The Rock's a very good actor, so that's a little more for me. But
he's like, just the character that he played as the Peacemaker, of being emotional and just the way his story was told.
And it goes back to the movie. In the scene where he killed Rick Flag, you could see it on his face. Like, he portrayed an actual emotion in that scene, and then it carries over. So whatever is with this character, the way it's written and everything, it's a perfect mix for his acting abilities.
It really is. I can't put my finger on it. I will say it depends what The Rock's in, whether he's a good actor.
Well, yes.
That.
Well, anyway, we'll see how Black Adam
going back to I'm a little scared about that one, Bubs. But anyway,
me too.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited, but I'm a little again, I don't know how that's going to go for him. It depends what he's in, as we'll see. But for John Cena and Peacemaker, I don't know what it is. I just can't put my finger on it. But I mean, just in this episode alone, the whole fart scene where she's talking and he's like blowing the fart. It was hilarious. Oh my goodness. Like,
it's hilarious, but it also, it shows his character, because she's trying to legitimately apologize and he's acting like an idiot, but you know why he's doing it. And it resonates in a way. Like, it resonates in a way that you never thought somebody making fart noises with their mouth could. Yeah, there's meaning behind it.
And Joanne does the same thing, so they're playing off each other.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's just hilarious. And Shane, you're right. I guess maybe because Peacemaker is a tool bag and so is John Cena, it just works.
But now he's redemption. It's redemption, though. I'm telling you, this is Cena's better role, better than any type of wrestling thing. And I know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
If we had wrestling fans that were listening to us, hey, God bless you. But this is Cena's best role, better than anything he did in the ring.
So guys, I just have to ask, when we did our rank the MCU, like the shows, Cable, what did you pick? What was it? Do you remember?
WandaVision was my number one.
I think that was mine. Bubba, what was yours?
I think Hawkeye.
Or no, maybe mine was Loki. Yours was Hawkeye. Yours was
Hawkeye.
Anyway, where would you rank that among those? I know we're comparing apples to oranges in some regards, like with DC, Marvel, but like, where would you put it in your just movie, superhero, shows in general?
It's up there. I mean, if it's not it's top 3 for sure.
It's a totally different content of the R-rated and the ultra-violent stuff. It's up there. It's not as violent as The Punisher in Netflix, but the humor and the swearing and the you know what I mean? Like, it's like Punisher and Peacemaker would be my top. Like, it could be tied for, one, just with the violent effect, because the Disney Plus stuff is not as violent as the Peacemaker. Peacemaker in that 8 episodes is more violent than all of the 3 shows that we talked about from DC. Or, I mean, Disney Plus. I'm sorry.
Looking into the crystal ball, like I said earlier, a year from now, we'll have done our year-end review, and I'm sure I'll watch a lot of TV series between now and then.
Yeah, I know.
You sure will.
But Peacemaker's still going to be up there.
Yeah.
If I had to make an early bet right now, it would be Moon Knight versus Peacemaker, but we'll see. A lot of stuff to come out.
And you're probably right. Probably, unless something else takes its toll, unless something else comes out.
So takeaways
more
from
Tommy Lee talking to his dick.
Yeah, that's number 1.
Jeez, we're really gonna derail this. Anyway,
that's him, not me. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, it wasn't Bubba this time.
Not this time.
Takeaways from this final episode. What do you think here? What takeaways? It was confirmed that there's going to be season 2.
That was confirmed yesterday.
So yeah, Bubba, you sent that.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
That's what I do on my social media. It's all about the pulp culture, and I send it to you guys, and then we can discuss it.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? What's your big takeaway of this episode?
My big takeaway is the character work. The storyline is what it was. It, went the route we knew it was going to at that point. But the characters, when it looked like we might lose a few of them, I was genuinely worried for those characters, and
you thought James Gunn's girlfriend's gonna actually go down? I
thought, but I
maybe
too. I mean, now,
and
she was really good,
yes, she was. She was very good.
Everybody in every role was good.
Mm-hmm. The scope of the show, like that scene. I love the scene where he's trapped under the rubble, and you think that he's getting dug out by her, and it ends up being the detective that has the butterfly. Like, just a quick little twist, but it subverted where you thought it was going to go. But the characters stand out big time for me.
Bubba, what about you?
I didn't think that I didn't think that they were going to be successful in this mission, because I didn't know how season 2 was going to go when I found out season 2 was going to be new. You know what I mean? I thought that it was going to have a cliffhanger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because they were looking to transport that big, ugly looking, crazy looking cow out. And I tell you what, Rob, Eagly is the best. I love how he's trying to
between Eagly and the little gecko guy, or whatever.
Judo master.
Yeah.
Well, Eagly's canon now. Eagly, was just James Gunn creation, but they made him canon in the comics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Now they're gonna have a Peacemaker action figure with Eagly as a sidekick.
That's awesome.
Like, there'll be figures coming out, but I just thought that
might be the only John Cena figure that
I'll buy. Yeah. But I just thought it was going to be a cliffhanger, because I didn't think they were going to win. And, when they had to use all their talents together and become a team, Vigilante got shot, and he didn't even realize he got shot.
Yeah, he did.
And
that actor, oh man,
he's
so
good. And they were just brutally killing those people. And then he had the shield, like a Captain America shield.
Yeah. Well, I love the part when Vigilante, like you said, gets shot, and as he's falling down, he just takes the guy out without even thinking about it. He just chucks that knife or whatever he had behind him and kills the guy that shot him.
The only thing I was disappointed in was the cheese curl guy. That he didn't join the team.
He's shown up.
Yeah.
Late.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too.
Yeah, so hopefully we get that.
I don't think he will, because he was crying at the end due to the fact that he was on the side of the butterflies.
Well, if you can't beat him, join him, right? Well, I don't know.
Or maybe he comes back for revenge. Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
But he always got his ass kicked.
Well,
he did some ass kicking too.
He kicked those guys' ass in the convenience store. But he got his ass beat by the what's his name? What's the big guy's name? The guy.
Oh yeah.
John or whatever.
Guy Beard.
He just beats his. Yeah, and that was an emotional, because that was supposed to be funny.
James Gunn and Peacemaker could make something like that emotional.
Yeah,
people thought it would be funny, but it was actually emotional when he did that dialogue.
Yeah. James Gunn is just—it's a master class of how to make
his face while he was saying that, like reality hit him. Like, he made it look like reality hit him. Like, why was I making fun of this guy? Right? Like, great finale. I look forward to that and Boba Fett every week. And now it's gone. It's all gone.
When the kid turned on her mother and then did that press announcement, that is actually canon now in the comic book, where everybody knows Amanda Waller's operations now.
Yep.
So they made that. Yeah, because I watched the video. There's the screen guy video I watched after. I do watch stuff after to make sure, because there could be so many Easter eggs. And then the whole time they're talking about
ideas.
Yeah, well, they're talking like Green Arrow. They're busting fucking people's nuts. And then the greatest thing at the end.
Yeah. in cable, this morning I was watching it when you first sent text, Cable, and I sent the little GIF thing of Peacemaker, and I lost my shit. Like, I'm like, I wish I could say something, but I knew you guys didn't watch it yet.
Yeah.
And then Cable, you text, a little bit before we hopped on, an hour or two before we hopped on, and you're like, holy beep. And I said, you just watched Peacemaker, didn't you? Yep. So
yep.
Can you believe that happened? You believe that in particular, those two?
Well, they got those two because they're actually filming at this time, so they actually got them.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I marked out big time just over the silhouettes, and I thought that's all we were going to get.
Same.
Right.
And then when they walk by them, and it's actually Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller, that blew my mind. Yes. And it's the only time you're going to see those guys in those costumes dropping F-bombs. But
they made it happen, man.
But
like,
they made it in the universe, though. That whole all that stuff's connected now.
Yeah. And that's, DC is such a goddamn mess because it was supposed to be connected anyway because Peacemaker's a spinoff of the movie. And the movie is canon, but now now they're going to uncanonize a lot of stuff with this Flash movie coming out. They're going to change up the timeline and stuff. So, we'll see where it goes. But as it stands now, we got to see him share the screen with some big heavy hitters in the the movie.
He's always bashing them, others. And I mentioned this before in our other episode, but I love that. It's so funny. Funny. And same thing happened in this one, right?
It was good. It was a good show. It was a good episode. I mean, that big, ugly looking, when they did the human torpedo and she dived into that.
That was great. And I love that she didn't even want to do it the second time. He just made the call.
Yeah. I mean, it's a classic story is like the Band of the Misfit Toys. And
they've got to be cohesive to take out something where they didn't want to be. It was more of a parental thing where the butterflies would have been a parental guiding over them if Peacemaker would have joined them. So he'd have never got out of anybody's shadow, and then they all got out of everybody's shadow at this last episode.
Yeah. So this one it was called it's Cow or Never. It was the 8th episode, the final episode of the series, and it got a 9.4 out of 10. So that's pretty damn good. Again,
it is.
As we know, those Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't really care.
The IMDb, but that's pretty good. I mean, that's really good, guys. That's.
Oh, I can honestly say, and I'm not trying to start shit, but it's just how I feel. Unlike the other show that we were watching consecutively up until last week, there wasn't a single episode of Peacemaker that let me down. Every episode I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, I think if there was an episode or two that was a little bit slow, but not like some of the episodes of the Book of Boba Fett.
I didn't catch that. For me, I enjoyed
ratings than season 2 of Mandalorian.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, what did? Book of Boba Fett?
Yep.
How?
Hi, Craig. I'm telling you.
That's Craig. And
I'm not doubting you. I'm
36%. 36% more because probably, I don't know if it was because of the two, but I mean, it's two different things. Peacemaker is different than the Book of Boba Fett or any Disney Plus movie because they can swear and it could be super duper violent. When a hatchet is fucking coming through somebody's head and just like it's ultra violent, and that's two different. It's hard to compare. Both of them are great. I mean, don't get me wrong.
So, Shane said, please do a Kenobi watch party. I would love to do that.
That may be, if I move and I get a room set up, we might have an official watch party room, a whole space if we want to do that.
That would be cool too. Yeah, that'd be awesome. If we can, I mean, we could do it virtually and we could do that, but
we could do that too.
It would be cool to do it in person if possible, but I would love to do that. We will put that on our list of things. If you tune in and think people would want to actually watch that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said, we could do it and do commentary kind of on it, but at the same time, like that's something I think you want to soak in a little bit.
You have to watch it one time and then watch it the second time as a watch along.
But you don't get that initial reaction if you do it that way. But regardless, I think that'd be something fun to do. Also, Shane put this in here, and of course, John Cena's quote about Green Arrow in this past episode. Craig, how you doing, man? You missed our limited edition, the top 5 live or top 5 personal favorite superheroes. But if you can go back and watch that, please do. But we're glad you made it to this one.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Well, everything that we have in the Triple B experience, you guys can always go back and check out all the videos that we've done since we started this channel and do that. And you can also go back on Spotify and catch up with everything. So you can
what Shane said there. Yeah, I'm sure, there's a lot of people that are waiting a long time to find out what happened to Boba Fett, and Mandalorian teed that up, great. Mine, I guess, was more of a that's awesome. But mine was more, I guess, taking it as face value after the fact and not, the build up week to week and things. So I can see why it would have an audience, but
Shane, I think, gave us an invitation. He has a huge area and said we could do a watch party there. Very awesome.
Appreciate that.
We appreciate everybody for tuning in, though, guys. Thank you guys so much.
Comments, keep them coming. You're every bit a part of this as we are, and we enjoy it.
I got the Facebook people. I'm watching.
So, any final thoughts on this before we move on to something else? Because I do have some other topics. So, I
just think this is the best thing that DC had in a long time. I'm on board Peacemaker. I'm a fan now of Peacemaker. And I was looking probably if they made a comic book of DC, I would probably get it. So Cena, all props to John Cena in this. And I know the wrestling stuff because a lot of wrestlers love Cena, a lot of kids love Cena. This is not your typical John Cena role, and and this is the greatest role he's ever been in, ever.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, it's one of those things where, WWE didn't want China to go in the Hall of Fame because if some little kid Googled her,
he's going in the Hall of Fame.
Guess what? It ain't going to stop John Cena.
Nope.
And to be honest with you, if some little kid that was a big fan of John Cena is wondering what he's up to now and happens to stumble across Peacemaker, look at all the shit he's going to be exposed to. Racism, all kinds of craziness. So
he's still going in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep. But I'm just, one of those things.
But do they make, guys, before we leave the Peacemaker stuff, I know they're doing another TV season of that, but do they ever bring him back to the silver screen?
I would think so.
I hope so.
I think the popularity of the show is going to dictate that. He's a moneymaker.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if it's in demand, they're going to do it. I just have to say,
sorry. I gotta say this.
Is his dad still alive?
No,
his head.
It's in his head, yeah.
Okay. And his dad will be a part of the character next year because he's never ever going to get rid of his dad. But before we leave the Peacemaker, Rob had the best line of the finale. You're late, you fucking dickheads.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
My final thoughts, kudos to everybody involved. Like I said, James Gunn has reached that echelon of his name is essentially a stamp of approval for me. Whatever he works on, I'm going to give it a go.
I'm sad that that this ties with Marvel's kind of done, especially with Guardians. This is being the last one.
Some of them are going to die, and you're not going to be happy, Mav.
No, I'm not.
I'm thinking if they want him to be involved with something, he will be. I just don't know if it's directing, but as a consultant, or whatever, just his 2 cents on projects and stuff.
So, keep in mind with Guardians though, Bubs, Disney's building that ride. It's very marketable. There are probably going to be some characters that go, but I think they're going to have to keep some because Disney's going to say, hey, listen, you're not getting rid of certain ones. They make us too much money. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There's a lot of politics involved too, because in certain circles, Chris Pratt is a very unpopular man these days. Batista is pissing a lot of people off. Like,
I knew that. I didn't know about Chris Pratt. I'm not.
Yeah, Chris Pratt's very conservative, and rightfully so. We're kind of finding out that he might be a little douchey. in real life. He's made some social media posts, and I know I see the hashtag on Twitter all the time. Chris Pratt is over party, where they're trying to cancel him and stuff. So,
well, if they get rid of Star-Lord, that is a big thing. That Star-Lord's always been the team leader, except for Vance Astro, and they're not bringing Vance Astro into the mix.
Yeah, I think this will be the end of Guardians. We might see some characters pop up in some crossover,
which is
big
terrible.
event movies or whatever. But I don't think at this rate, especially with James Gunn.
So I ask you this though: why would Disney spend all that money building them an entire ride? This thing's freaking huge. I can't wait to see it. And why would they wait till the movie is done before they open? They put it on hold until he was done writing it. So it's just like, I don't know.
I think they're still going to try. Yeah. I mean, I think they're still going to make money off of it. It's a proven franchise. Even if they don't do any more with it,
there'll be in other movies, but the original team will no longer be in existence after this.
Yeah. Like, I don't think we'll have any more Guardians movies, especially with James Gunn leaving. Because you look at this lineup, it wasn't the original lineup in the comics. And they had other Guardians members in post-credit scenes for Volume 2, but without James Gunn's creative choices and direction, I don't think they want to take a chance and try and start a Guardians franchise over again, essentially with new teams.
They're not doing an Avengers movie either. So that come out today.
I think they will. What?
That come out today. No Avengers movie. Kevin Feige said no more.
Well, Bob, I don't know some of those social sites. I just don't.
They're not going to do.
Now I'll give you your credit. Last week, I guess I didn't give you your credit or whatever.
I
did see the Peacemaker stuff that you were talking about with what his dad said.
I looked.
That went over my head. But I can't imagine them not doing another Avengers. That's what they're building towards.
They're going to do young Avengers, but they're not going to do an Avengers. They're going to do a Secret Wars.
And then also, just real quick, Disneyland already has. They changed Tower of Terror into a Guardians ride, which is badass. So they put a lot of stock into Guardians of the Galaxy. I get it that a lot of the team's going to go. And this will probably be the last one.
But you can always watch the movies on rerun, and you can always buy them on Blu-ray. And
I just think that they're. I mean, if that's the case, that's pretty dumb, But you would. I don't know. What do I know?
The High Evolutionary is going to be wiping out somebody.
So, but it'll be good. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. But yeah. Anyway, anything else about Peacemaker, real quick?
I think I said my piece.
Okay.
No pun intended.
So. We talked about the final episode of Book of Boba Fett last week. If you missed it, you can go back and watch that. However, I just want to take you guys down a path, maybe a thought here.
Journey.
Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy here. But I wanted to get both your thoughts on this, especially yours, Bubba, because I know you're a big Star Wars mark. But could we possibly be seeing the potential of Grogu turning to the dark side? I mean, we've kind of seen this story before with Anakin, right? But we didn't get to see it linear, right? It was more of an iterative approach to it. But are we possibly seeing the beginnings of something like? Would they do that? Would Disney do that? Because this lovable, cute little character, right? And then he loses Mando eventually. Right? There's only going to be one more season of Mando. They're going to, say he loses Mando eventually. We know Grogu isn't a part of the prequels or the sequels, so he's got to go at some point.
They're not going anywhere unless they kill off the Mandalorian, because even though these other Star Wars TV shows, they are going to be bumped off and go to them.
So, but it's one big world that they're trying to tie together.
Yes. Yep.
So it's like we know he didn't make it. He's got somewhere along the line, unless they're putting him in carbonite. Or
he went into hiding.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways they can go with this, but
we still don't know who saved him.
No. That's probably going to come. We got to see that clip.
Yeah, I just think they're going to be in different shows. And it all depends on Pedro's contract too.
Well,
You know
I know,
what I mean? Like,
I know he was always upset about the FaceTime. Wasn't able to
see. That was,
but I think I don't think
knew.
he's going to be able to go back to being a Mandalorian. I know they mentioned about going to the what is it, the rivers or whatever?
Yeah.
The mines.
Yes, thank you. But it was dried up. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. I think this is going to be interesting. I'm excited for it. Of course, we got to wait.
Yeah.
But I'm just thoughts coming into my head, like possibly seeing a path where Grogu might, maybe he starts turning to the dark side and it's too real for Ahsoka and she strikes him down. Right? She's already seen this rodeo before.
Well, it's too like you talk about your money with your roller coaster. Grogu's a cash cow that can keep on trucking.
Yeah,
but so is Darth Vader.
People.
I think the trajectory for Mando, as you mentioned, I think the whole point when the show is done is going to be that he doesn't need the Mandalorian history. Like he's going to walk away from it like a lot of them have, or maybe not walk away from it, but not be as dedicated, like with every, taking off the helmet, stuff like that. So I think that is going to be part of the whole reason for the show is his leaving the blind faith of Mandalorian behind. And then Grogu, I think that's a little too ballsy for something this mainstream.
Yeah. And plus they can add
they might
shows.
tease it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would ever go full blown.
It could be one of those things where we finally see a story go right. Like we saw Darth Vader, we saw it. Like you said, they could tease it, but maybe they can, sway him in the right path.
They're going to still try to capture him. They still want to capture him for what they wanted to do in the
I would love to
season.
see him be a Jedi Mandalorian combo like Tarz Vizsla. There's only been one ever, but I think that would be awesome.
And to your point, if they would turn him to the dark side, my hat's off to them because that would be storytelling. I mean, some people would look at that like a cheap plot element, but if you did it right with how attached everybody is to this character, and he truly did turn to the dark side, done right, that would hit you right. That would shake you to your core.
Sure. Absolutely. Just a thought that I had, I think I thought about all angles.
Yeah, I just can't see him doing it due to the fact they got so many more TV shows that they want to do after this wave. And I think The Mandalorian and Grogu will be on other shows. So
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, well, his contract, he'd be like, hey, but they'll get somebody else because then they just won't show his face. They don't have to.
Yeah, but is he going to walk away from all that money?
Yeah, I know.
He's in that HBO thing, that move, that whatever. I don't know. Who knows anymore? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Because Qui-Gon was a little bit of a maverick, so to speak. No pun intended. But yeah.
And God only knows what's going to happen in Obi-Wan. I mean, we already know some stuff's going to happen in Obi-Wan, but that's all, before the New Hope. So
yeah, that's going to be interesting.
That is going to be a very, very interesting. Obviously, all of us wanted to know what happened to Boba Fett and everything, but I think there's a group of people, and I might be one of them, where like, Bubba, you've been waiting for how many years to find out what happened to Boba Fett, where you and me were, Gary, with when Revenge of the Sith came out, right when we graduated. I think that section of time between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope for Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Darth Vader is what we've been waiting to see more of also.
Yeah, no, I agree. I also, though, guys, I would like to see Kira show up in this, and somewhere, maybe it's Mando 3. I don't know.
I want to see Black Chrysanthemum and Obi-Wan good in that fight. Now give him the scar. I want to see that. It's in the comic book, but it could be in the
thing of it is he's like a face now. Like I don't know. Like
but
he wouldn't have been back then.
Not then. They were looking for him.
Oh, you mean then. Oh yeah, this would take place beforehand.
Yeah.
But just like everybody wants Mace Windu to come and be a part of the whole the Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett or lore there. But I don't know. I don't know if I see that.
I don't know. That's why we do these podcasts.
Yeah, it's all
speculation.
Yeah.
Shooting the shit.
Shane, so excited about Kenobi. Craig, what do you got? I think Grogu will be the next generation Mandalorian / Jedi. I think you were calling him Baby Yoda. I would like to see him as a crossover. I really would. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, another thing happened this week. Actually, two things. One, I want to touch base on real quick. The other one we could probably spend a little bit more time on. But just a little bit of wrestling news.
There's Cody a lot Rhodes of wrestling news, man.
Left AEW. A lot of speculation going on there. Reports came out today that he left. He went and asked for more money. Tony Khan turned him down.
Wow.
And so he decided to leave. Also, Brandy wasn't well received in the locker room, though Cody was loved by a lot of people. This article said, however, Brandy was not and didn't seem to be much of a value.
I mean, that's the truth. You could see that a mile away.
Yeah, I could see that. Also, like I said, these are all speculation, but at the same time, you could see kind of the writing on the wall. Cody starting to get a little bit jealous of the fact that Tony has all these new shiny toys with big contracts. And Cody probably thinks, well, I deserve to have that contract too. And I think there could be a little bit of jealousy there. Also, the guy couldn't do anything right. No matter what he did, he got booed out of the building. So whatever he was preaching, the message got stale.
He almost got that X-Pac heat.
Yeah.
For some reason.
They threw his wrestling belt back to him. Like, he threw it out the ring at one show, and they threw it back to him.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's bad.
Yeah, if you go back into the annals of our past episodes, I think we touched on this topic. I think I brought it up where there was a lot of conversation about maybe half a year ago, 9 months ago, that Cody Rhodes wasn't talking to the Young Bucks backstage. Like, Cody Rhodes was very separated from the rest of the founding members of AEW. And, when you factor in, maybe there's heat from Brandy, maybe it doesn't go so far as being heat, but, he had the reality TV show. He kind of almost, he almost doesn't fit the AEW mold, which is a weird thing to say, but he doesn't have that work style that all the other guys do. Not that that's a bad thing, variety is always good, but he has more of a WWE style to me anyway. And then now with this X-Pac heat that he just can't shed, and he already, he made it, unless he wanted to go back on it, he already made it so that he could never win the AEW heavyweight title or championship. So,
but I think that was his desperate attempt to try to make a workhorse title more credible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really disagree with that. And that was kind of a shock that happened. You could also say that like Wardlow has a more WWE style too.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't know if it was that. I think, he's wrestled Ring of Honor, New Japan. He's aware of the style. And I think he did. I mean, I don't disagree with you, Cable, but I thought his style was a little bit more hybrid than, like I said, Wardlow, for example. And I think he could hang with a lot of those guys.
Everybody there.
Yeah, I mean, he's very solid and everything, but like, he's just not doing the stuff that Kenny Omega's doing and that the Young Bucks are doing.
Those guys don't need to be doing that stuff because they're all getting hurt. And look at Kenny being off for so long now.
Well, he needed a break anyway.
I know, but those high risk maneuvers. I mean, the Hangman Page match last. That was just crazy.
I mean,
it's just
but here's the thing. I don't know.
They're doing extreme stuff.
He's kind of a hybrid too in a lot of ways. Like, he doesn't need to do a lot of that, and you've seen that become less. Like the most high flying thing that he does is that flip over the ring, like over the ropes out the ring.
Yeah,
but that's nothing that Undertaker's done that.
Right, but there's a crispness to what Kenny Omega does. Like when he would get drop kicks from Pac and he would explode into the corner and like that. I don't know what they call it in AEW, but when we saw it in person, when Christian gave him the unprettier on the chair and he basically stood on his head, Cody Rhodes is a much more simpler. And like I said, I'm not putting it down. Yeah, I'm just saying, I think maybe WWE fits him.
I've always said this about CM Punk too. To be honest, as much as I like CM Punk, he's limited. He doesn't do a lot.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just,
but he's always been a guy that I enjoyed watching. But he doesn't do a ton either.
But he's got charisma to an extent and stuff that I don't know how much charisma Cody has either, which I think is part of the reason why he gets booed so much.
He doesn't, because he's not like his old man.
People are tired of seeing him be a face. He came out how long ago and said, I'm never going to be a heel. Like, I don't know. He made weird decisions with that.
I would have liked him just remain a tweener. It doesn't matter. You can go against face, you can go against heels, and that gives you more. I
think he's a better heel.
Yeah, I do too. Though I wasn't one of those people when he comes out, I'm not going to boo him because I don't hate him. Like he never,
right?
But there are faces that I get sick of seeing. John Cena was one of them, right? There are situations where that happens, but
being a face is hard too because you don't get to do a lot of the cool stuff story wise. That's why so many people want to be heels all the time, like Triple H and.
If he doesn't get signed by WWE, it was all work to bring in another faction of all the guys that haven't made TV lately.
That was my question. Do you think it's Bubba? I know you think it's a work. Okay, you think it's a work?
Until he's signed by until he's on WWE TV, I think it's a work. Until like Brian Cage, for God knows reasons, they don't even use them. They put people off TV and they're just sitting them, and they're going to.
They don't have. They got too many.
They don't have anything. AEW is getting oversaturated right now, and
it is.
They've been that way. Yeah, I don't think it's a work. To answer your question, I don't.
I don't either. I think he packed his ball and went home. There's a lot of jealousy there.
His wife was just in that angle with that dude Dan Lambert, and
that guy was shooting from the hip. I think.
Yeah, he was. It was good. And now
that angle was received poorly with Brandy's side of it. Like. She just hasn't done anything right with a lot of the internet wrestling community, and
you can't handle it.
She kind of reminds you of Stephanie McMahon in the McMahon-Helmsley era. She's put in this position to try and tell stories in the ring, and she
can't do it.
She's not really capable of doing it.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. Just curious what your guys' thoughts were on that.
Last night match was good. Daniel Bryan against Lee Moriarty was phenomenal. I seen him live in Pittsburgh, and when we saw him down there, but I seen him in independent shows, and he was trained by Rise Wrestling and stuff like that. He was trained by Brandon Kay, I believe, out of Pittsburgh. So he's on the major TV. He's signed. How come these other people are getting signed? It's all political wherever you do now. It doesn't matter.
Anyway, I just wanted to wrap that up real quick. Let's talk about the trailer that was released during the Super Bowl. Cable, why don't you go ahead and take it from here?
All right. Well, there was a TV spot that I was kind of surprised showed up in like the pregame for the Super Bowl, not during the game. And it was for Doctor Strange. It was a 30-second TV spot. And then at the end, it said go online for the full trailer. Because they don't typically show full trailers during the game, just the quick commercial spots. But I was very surprised to not see any footage during the game, which I guess, they probably assume the hype is already there for the movie coming out of WandaVision and No Way Home. So they took their spot and gave it to Moon Knight that needs a little bit more attention. But the trailer is fantastic. I did a reaction to it. Yep. Yeah. During halftime, I missed the halftime show because I didn't want to wait till the end of the game to try and edit it and everything.
Shame on you for missing that halftime show, by the way.
Well, I can watch the halftime show again. And I guess, I could have done the reaction later that night.
We should have done a reation to their halftime shows, what we should have
did. Oh, my God.
Anyway.
We'd have got lambasted all over social media if we did. We would have. If we'd have did a halftime show, that thing, we'd have never been doing a podcast ever again. We would have got lambasted. I'm telling you straight up, we'd have got lambasted.
Yeah.
And it's true. We'd have been done. and I mean, it was okay, but you know, we'd have got lambasted.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would have said because I didn't see it. So now I may have enjoyed it more than you guys did. So who knows?
Oh, maybe.
But
it was okay.
It wasn't the worst one I've seen. Just
yeah.
not my style.
But if you said something out of content about that halftime show, you didn't like it. And you were bad.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'd probably say it from both ends of the spectrum. If it was country music, I would have hated it. If it was rap music, I would have hated it. So there's that.
I can jam with that stuff, that era that those guys were coming from, and I like that era of rap music.
Just said I did a meme about Snoop Dogg and stuff, and I got lambasted by everybody. I was just trying to be funny. So, and I, if he didn't come out in the Steelers stuff, and that's why I was being funny because I'm a Steeler fan, and he didn't get paid for that. None of them get paid for it, so they did it for publicity. They don't get paid, but I got lambasted. That's right, people. I got lambasted.
Story of Bubba's life.
You're used to it.
No, I'm not used to it. It's full of shit, but it is what it is. You know, express my opinion. I get whatever. I get a little heated.
See, Kendrick's good. Kendrick's good. I don't know. I heard that from a lot of people. Like I said, I still haven't watched it, but Kendrick is one of the better hip hop artists out there nowadays. Or at least he was about 8 years ago. But anyway, all right. Who thought we were going to go down this route? So, Doctor Strange trailer. The atmosphere of this trailer and the cinematography and stuff, you know, Marvel takes a lot of shit for all their movies having a similar look to them and everything, which I'm all right with that because it's set in the same universe. So it should look like they all came from the same place. But you could definitely tell the same way you could tell Eternals had a more experienced, higher pedigree director. You know, Sam Raimi coming in and taking over this movie. The Evil Dead franchise, the first 3 Spider-Man movies, a lot more than that. That's what comes to mind first. Very experienced director with his own visual style, and you see it. I mean, the images that we get right off the bat, like when the doors open and there's that staircase that just goes up into nothing, you know, that's phenomenal. Him in that dream sequence. That in the trailer, I had trouble seeing it, and I said maybe is that flashbacks to Dormammu, or not flashbacks, but dreams of them. Now it seems like it's Sidorak, which makes more sense. But horror vibes all through it. You know, it's got an eerie feel to it, which we had heard off and on. The director from the first Doctor Strange has a horror movie background, and that was the route they wanted to go. He left for creative differences. Everybody said they wanted to tone down the horror aspects. Seems like they're still there. Easter eggs like crazy in the video. There might be Marvel Zombies. There might be What If connections. There was, you know, is Tom Cruise in it? Is that superior Iron Man? There's so much in that trailer. It's jam-packed, and it just makes the movie look phenomenal. But I saw a really cool theory about the trailer earlier today that I don't know. We haven't talked about it. I don't know if you guys would have seen it, but it's very interesting.
There was a lot of questions coming out of that trailer. And then you look at the screen grabs, you know, with the broken glass, the shards of glass, and you're looking in like little pieces of that, and you're seeing certain things as well. So
and that's an official poster. I mean, that came straight from Marvel's Twitter. So you know, I mean, it's not doctored or photoshopped or anything.
From everything from like kind of like silhouette of the Watcher to all kinds of stuff going on in there. But you know, they spared no expense with the reveal or the voice that was a part of that trailer. So if they're willing to do that in the trailer, I can only imagine the shit that is going to come out in this movie. Like it is going, again, the one word to describe this is going to be just a mind, you know what, the whole way through, I think. And it's got to be a jam-packed movie from start to finish, right?
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the runtime is going to be. I don't think they've announced that yet.
Probably 3 hours.
But should be around there. You would hope so with everything that's in there.
Yeah, with everybody that's got a cameo in it.
So we're seeing Doctor Strange on trial, essentially, or he
seems like it. Yeah,
that's kind of what they're portraying here. And then we see chairs, right? And some of them are full, some of them are not. And then we hear the voice. So that gives us a speculation that this is headed in what direction?
Illuminati.
The multiverse Illuminati.
Yeah.
Not the original comic book Illuminati, because it can't happen.
They can't do that.
Who do you think are going to fill those chairs?
You want to go first, Bubba?
Well, the first one is, of course, it's Xavier in a multi-universe, not the Charles Xavier in Logan. I think one of them might be Blade with Wesley Snipes, because of the guy had I don't think it's Mordo. I don't think Mordo needs to be on. That's just
no, that doesn't make
I don't
sense.
think, to me, Blade would be something, because Blade is a big time huge character in the Marvel universe anyway, and they can give something for Wesley Snipes.
But the Illuminati was this is a clarifying question. The Illuminati was the most brilliant minds within, right? Is Blade considered?
No,
I don't know. Blade's pretty smart. I mean, but not like
but he's not known. Right. It's characters that are known for their intellect. Yeah, that's why they came together.
Agent Carter's not the brightest either, but she's in it.
I was going to ask that.
I doubt that. I'm going to say no. Like, if we're taking bets, I'm going to say no.
For Blade or for Agent Carter, or both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, both. I couldn't imagine why in the world they would put Captain Carter on the Illuminati. Like,
so that just makes you wonder where she would fit in this.
Because it's a multiverse.
Because we've seen signs that
they signed the actor that played the Black Bolt in the Inhumans, which I don't know why they did that, but they did.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
No, I heard that too, actually.
That's mind blowing.
So they're not bringing in a big actor to play that role.
I mean, you don't need to.
I mean, he was great. He was great at Captain Pike in Star Trek, but
because he can't talk, so you don't need a person. You don't need somebody that has great acting chops. So they signed him for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he's signed.
Wow.
He's probably going to be on the chair.
That's awesome, because I mean he's an original Illuminati member. Because the original lineup of the Illuminati was Black Bolt, Black Panther. No, was Black Panther original, or did he come in?
But Black Panther, he was original from my understanding, but he left because he didn't trust the Illuminati.
Okay.
Him and Submariner are fighting.
Professor X, Mr. Fantastic,
Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah, and Doctor Strange.
Which was Iron Man the one that started it?
I don't know, because they retconned it. They went back and said that the Illuminati was actually formed like in the 70s or something like that.
They just made that.
They made a retcon. So he was one of the founding members. I don't know who actually, was the idea. And of course, they're the group that shot Hulk out into space. But you could do a lot of multiverse stuff there. I'm hoping
it'll be called the Illuminati, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would name drop it or not.
This is the multiverse of all. This is not, so it could be anybody. Like Hugh Jackman's going to be in it. Like Wolverine's going to be in it.
See, my mind there is, Illuminati just kind of sounds.
Yeah, because it's got. Yeah, there's the conspiracy theories about an actual Illuminati.
And Doc Strange was on it.
Yeah.
Which we've seen a couple versions of him, like a zombie version. The one that
now,
we saw on trial. Evil
maybe
Dr.
Bubba's right. Maybe they don't go the route of it being high intellect, because that's not Wolverine.
Wolverine will be in the movie somewhere.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant on the Illuminati.
He's not going to be on the Illuminati.
We're going to see some characters. We're going to see some characters that aren't going to be a part of the Illuminati.
But clearly. But I thought he was meaning. So Illuminati, I'm going to say Professor X, maybe Namor, Mr. Fantastic, whatever this.
The Fantastic from the original.
Very
Fantastic,
possible,
the first movie.
Yeah. A variant of Iron Man, maybe from another universe through the multiverse.
Tom Cruise.
Yep.
And then, maybe it looks like Doctor Strange is on trial, but maybe that's how they're recruiting him into the Illuminati. So, you could do that. But the theory I saw that this could not pan out, and it looked legit, but I wanted to bring this up. There's a character, I called it out in the trailer reaction. There's a character flying that looks a lot like Captain Marvel's, how they portray her powers visually.
Yeah. I did see that.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying that that's Superior Iron Man, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because he doesn't glow when he flies.
His face is Kang's face in the pictures.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah. Somebody had the video in 8K supposedly, and you can clearly tell, unless it's Photoshopped, that it's a black man in the suit. So a lot of people are thinking it's a Kang variant because in the comics, there was a version of Kang that was Iron Lad, which he went on to be in the Young Avengers, and they're leaning towards Young Avengers. They have a bunch of Young Avengers already set up in the MCU. So that would be interesting. That would be cool to see Kang pop up before Ant-Man Quantumania.
Yeah. Huh.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I just seen a video where they had WandaVision and Loki at the same time. When stuff happened in WandaVision happened the same time at Loki at the same exact time.
There's 3 things. I can't remember what the third one is, where if you start them all at the same time, something happens with all 3, whatever you're watching. And Marvel says that was just happenstance, but I don't know how that can happen.
When she turned into the Scarlet Witch, that's when Kang, when the all-knowing, he actually was flustered about something. That is the moment that she turned into the Scarlet Witch off of WandaVision.
That's amazing.
And if I recall, there was a third thing that lined up with that.
I didn't hear
exactly also, but I can't remember what it is now. So yeah, it's going to be all encompassing. It's going to be a big end point to where we've come so far. In the trailer, we got to see a very similar setup to Westview from WandaVision. I bought in and I started looking at stuff that I didn't want to see because I'm trying to say as spoiler free as possible. But there's another theory I saw today that I'm actually really disappointed that I saw it, because if it does pan out in the movie, it's going to be such a cool reveal. And I won't tell you guys if you don't want it spoiled, but if it happens, it's going to be a very awesome scene in the movie. But I think, like you said, Gary, a term I like to use at my work is brain fuck. That's what this movie is going to be.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot to digest.
Yeah.
That's one you're going to have to watch a couple times for sure. I have a feeling. But again, like Shane said, I think it's going to eventually end up hitting our top 5. But we're seeing everything from the what if. We're seeing, the cartoon aspects and all kinds of, like, it's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. Super excited about it, though.
There's that frame that we were talking about I sent you guys where you can clearly see when you pause the trailer, when they're crashing through dimensions, they're falling out of an animated dimension. And it looks like it's the old 60s Spider-Man cartoon style animation too, like that old school animation. And that's where that America Chavez comes into play. She can create portals.
Yeah.
So she's going to have a big role in this movie.
Well, Strange is having nightmares, so if nightmares actually come as a character, this would be the time he does it.
Yeah.
Yes. And I want to see that so bad.
And also, Daredevil possibly, or I'm sorry, Deadpool was possibly rumored to be in this.
He said,
he's on that shard of glass.
He said last night in an interview, he said no way, but he's lying.
I saw that, but they all, of course he's not going to. But with him, you can see he does it on purpose. It's like, I'm not supposed to talk about that. No, I'm not in it. Like, it's very sarcastic, right?
Yeah. But for him to come in and crack jokes in a horror movie is like, it's going to be like a horror science fi kind of movie. I don't know if his Deadpool character would be any type of.
I think they could pull it off.
I think with like Marvel, they blend genres. I think the movie's going to be a roller coaster ride, and it wouldn't shock me. And I've been saying this for years, ever since they were rumors of Disney buying Fox. Deadpool will be the easiest character to pop into the MCU, and he's the only one that I think that they should keep from the Fox movies is Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Well, here's the thing. It's a chance to get him to interact with X-Men, possibly, which that could be a whole nother dynamic that could be hilarious in a lot of ways. So especially Hugh Jackman, so.
My concern from what we've seen and stuff is if they start throwing in all these cameos, you have Professor X coming through the multiverse and maybe Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine from another universe.
Yep.
What do they do to introduce a Wolverine in this universe? Like, how do you start from scratch with X-Men that have been a part of another universe for how long? Like, logistically trying to bring these characters in after you've already introduced characters that have been in that role for a long time, I think it's going to be clunky.
They made it not to the exact of what you're saying, Cable, but they made it work in Spider-Man where, you knew that they existed and they made it work. But they could do that. The
reason I think that works is because we were going along for the ride with Tom Holland's Spider-Man first. Whereas, the first time we see Professor X in the MCU is going to be a different Professor X that doesn't belong in this universe.
Because he would never did it any other way. He'd have never done it.
And I don't want anybody, like, if they do this like they did Spider-Man No Way Home, bring actors from other movies in and send them back to their universe, that's fine. But I personally, my taste, and I'm nobody, but I don't want to see any actors from Fox trying, like, I wouldn't want them to roll the characters in without a multiverse angle.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I don't disagree with you.
I think they need fresh starts, and I think it's going to be weird when we see characters that are already, like I said, Spider-Man, Tom Holland, we knew him first in the MCU. Mm-hmm. So what do? You have a Professor X, and then all of a sudden somebody else raises their hand and says, "Oh, I'm also Professor X, but I've been here the whole time."
I think Wanda is going to introduce the mutants in some kind of way, because in the comic books, when she says no more mutants, it's going to be a role reversed.
Yeah.
She's going to say and bring them in, and maybe somebody comes in, but not the team, not the new Wolverine, because they don't have him cast. So that'll be something down the road. You're looking to
or if not longer, because from what they've said,
Wolverine might be Andrew Ratliff.
No. Daniel.
Daniel, whatever. I don't even know the fucking name.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
No, that would never. They would. That would be one of the worst, like the most pushback.
The only time it would even remotely make sense, and I don't even think it will. But it's the only time that they could probably pull it off.
Yeah, and I don't like the idea of them just throwing random celebrities in as superheroes.
I don't even like Tom Cruise, to be honest with you, but
I was really against that, and I've expressed that a bunch of times on this show. But if you bring him in through the multiverse and then you take him back out and he's never there again, that's fine. But if you're just throwing all sorts of celebrities in just for the not shock appeal, but the surprise factor, just for the sense of having celebrities, and that's going to take me out of the movie. Because then at that point, you're just saying, here's a famous person, here's a famous person. So, yeah, I hope they don't do something like that. But it would be interesting.
And I've said this to you before, Cable, or maybe I've even said on the show, but I like the instance where the role makes the actor in a lot of ways, not that the actor makes the role. So, like, I love when they take unknown actors and it just, like, it's so successful that it puts them over.
Yeah, same here. And we see that a lot in Disney MCU. Thor was essentially a nobody when he got cast. Chris Evans had done a lot of stuff, but not at the level that shot him up to.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is the exception to that.
But he was in a big career slump. His was more of a revival.
They almost didn't want him. They didn't want him.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard made more money in Iron Man 1 than Robert Downey did. He only got $500,000, and Howard made millions. And if he didn't have cop an attitude and walk, he'd have made so much money. Don Cheadle made $40 million playing War Machine. So I mean, dumb. Very stupid. Very stupid.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
I guess my closing thoughts on this, which if you guys want to talk about it more, but looking into the future, because we know we're getting a Fantastic Four movie. They've already said that they've started pre-production on that. They're probably farther along than we know they are, like with internal casting maybe and stuff like that. And then Feige had confirmed that they're going to be working on something original involving mutants down the road. But Fantastic Four comes first. I'm curious to see how they write themselves out of this corner, because especially with Fantastic Four, X-Men, two groups, you can't just do the, oh, we've been here the whole time thing, but we're ready to come out now. Like, Eternals kind of had that issue where it was like, why didn't you step up when the world was, the whole universe was in trouble? And they explained that away. But you're going to have to write something different. You can't just have the Fantastic Four pop up and say, hey, we've been here the whole time. Now, maybe they don't get their powers until, their movie comes out.
They could have been snapped away.
They could have, but where were they before that?
They weren't.
It's interesting, I'll say. I'm not, I just want to see how they pull it off, I guess.
Well, or they were into quantum realm the whole time.
Yeah, that's intriguing.
They went for all four of them got in a ship and was looking in the negative zone, and that's where they got stuck, and they've been stuck there the whole time until they get pulled out.
Any other final thoughts on that? No? Okay.
I think I'm good.
I just have a question for you. Did you guys hear that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was going to be in Morbius?
No.
I saw
his poster is.
So I wasn't sure.
They messed that all up. That's all messed up now, I believe. Too much delays.
I'm not. Oh, you mean okay?
Just too much delays, and then now it was supposed to be last year, and now it was supposed to be a month ago, and now it's supposed to be this. It's just too much bullshit because Sony has no clue what they're doing.
It's the same thing not Sony, but it's the same thing that happened. Fox did with that New Mutants movie. They just kept pushing it and kept pushing it.
Never seen it.
It wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad, but it fell victim to the machine. Like, same thing with Morbius. I didn't see that, Gary, and part of it is because I don't click on stuff that has Morbius in the title because I'm not excited for this movie at all.
Yeah.
But in the trailer, multiple trailers now, there's a part where Dr. Morbius is walking down an alleyway, and there is a Sam Raimi era Spider-Man poster on the side of the alley. Somebody spray painted murderer. Well,
that was before. That was on before.
Yes, that's what I don't know what they're going to do with this movie, because they've said this movie was finished filming like 2 years ago. So they have the poster with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, and it says murderer across it. Somebody vandalized it. The only thing that we know that could be is, Spider-Man was blamed for killing Mysterio. They have Michael Keaton reprising his role as Vulture from the MCU.
Yeah.
And that was before the multiverse was
doesn't make any sense.
Brought up. They referenced San Francisco a bunch, and he even says Venom in one of the trailers. So this movie, I have no idea what they're going to do.
I'm intrigued by it. Probably going to be a cluster, but I do want to see it, believe it or not. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, gentlemen, this was a long one, but it's okay because, we're not going to be able to do this for a couple of weeks.
It's a farewell episode for a little bit.
I will be back, maybe a little bit more refreshed, and probably have some interesting stories, maybe video, maybe pictures.
Yeah, you're going to be a Jedi Knight.
I know. I'm going to be a Jedi, official Jedi. So Jedi Master Mav.
Well, that'd be cool.
So
I'm gonna be doing a lot of wrestling stuff because there's a lot of wrestling shit I want to talk about. So there's so much shit going on every day.
Yeah, and then Bubba, you're prospecting some other interviews to do and stuff.
Yeah, I got to watch this video and we'll see what goes down. But there's so much stuff, and I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling about the interview that Pat McAfee had when he had Brock Lesnar on his show the other day.
Dude, that was good.
Yep,
that was good. Well, he broke that table.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And I don't know how, before we get off, I don't know how they're going to be doing WrestleMania when they're going to have 200,000 people in less than a day down there. I'm sure it'll be It's going to be crazy.
Isn't it 2 nights again?
Yeah, 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday at 100,000 people. That's 200,000 people at a wrestling show, and I don't know if they beat the North Korean record show, when the one Flair went over in WCW, because those people had to go to the show. They had no excuses because the government put a gun to their head and said, "Hey, you're going to go to the show." So I don't know what that is, but anyway, that's all I got to say. But I'll be doing a lot of stuff.
I have NXT on here. It just came on.
Well, NXT
I don't know, randomly, but it looks like the 80s.
I thought you didn't watch wrestling.
No, I watch wrestling. I watch good wrestling.
Well, it's all especially
apparently not if you have NXT on.
No.
NXT sucks.
Did you not hear what I said?
No,
I said it randomly came on.
How did it randomly come on?
Because I was watching I have AEW taped.
Oh.
And whenever that was over, this automatically came on. Don't know why. I have YouTube TV, so I have no idea why that happened. Anyway,
they just quit. They have another show Friday night. They're going against Rampage, and Matt Cardone is the world NWA world champion.
Good for him.
Good for him.
But anyway, as I was saying, it looks like 80s wrestling again with the cartoon characters.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's on right now? What's going on?
I don't know who they are.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. I know Ciampa was on in a tag match, but these schmucks, I don't know who any of them are.
Rick Steiner's kid's the champ.
Yeah, probably better to not know who it is.
Yeah, I don't. I have no idea who they are.
They killed Triple H's brand. That was the best wrestling on TV, and it
was.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I know we're gonna get out of here, but some Ric Flair news came out over the last couple of weeks. Man, that's sad. Anyway,
why? What's the news?
Him and his.
Oh, they're still business partners.
They're still business partner, but she left him because he can't just not be Ric Flair. That's just who he is, right?
And his wife. He's getting a divorce.
Another one.
Okay.
But she's still handling all his affairs. But he came out and said, he had all these famous people reach out to him and say, are you okay? Is everything okay? But not one person from WWE reached out to him. Not one.
Yeah, he said that on his podcast. I listen to his podcast.
Wow.
You listen to his podcast?
I don't listen to the podcast, but I caught the clip. I caught a clip.
Becky Lynch's the man's not the man. I'm the man.
Yeah,
he's sued for that copyright, and he thanks Vince for everything, but it's just a cluster, and he don't ever think he'll be back, and he really doesn't even care.
No, but you would think Triple H would have at least reached out to him.
Yeah, you would think that.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
That's kind of weird.
They just use you, like Miro said on Kurt Angle's. They just use you when you're done. They don't need you.
Yeah.
They just use you. And then that's
I'm just glad I got the WCW era Ric Flair figure before they lost the rights to make figures of him anymore.
It's true. And if you haven't seen that video, that was a good one. So
that was a good one.
Cable is a star now. He made it on Ringside Collectibles. They retweeted it, and he has like a gazillion views. So remember, we had him before anybody else did. So
shout out to Ringside Collectibles. They came through.
Ringside Collectibles. If you want to sponsor this podcast, or if you want to be a guest on this podcast, we would be more than glad to have
contact Cable.
So anyway, guys, this was fun. I will see you in a few weeks. You guys stay safe.
Okay,
and do good things. Let the force
later, guys.
Bye, Pickle Rick.
Should have known that was
live long and prosper.
Yeah,
I'll hit you with that one.